was like, I don't eat, and then all of the things that they were doing.
But wasn't it enlightening? So sometimes I know that it's a point of frustration. People even get irritated and mad at me. Demand, just give them the portions, just give them the size. But even if I, as a trainer, somebody that's been in the business of food and fitness and nutrition for over 35 years, I have a different perspective as a trainer, right? I can look at the people that get results and are able to maintain results, which, to be quite honest, is not most people. It's not. So I'm very fascinated. I'm extremely fascinated by self actualization, right? And self sabotage. It's a mindset. What's the blind spot that's there? So I see patterns, right? Because if I'm working with people breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day, every day, different people from every demographic, high income, lower income, movie stars, mothers, corporate executives. I'm seeing patterns of behavior, right? In terms of success or accomplishment or people achieving and meeting their goals, surpassing their goals, and who sustains it. So I can tell you some things that I see very much, and I always talk about the blind spots. So even if I tell you or make you aware that there's a blind spot, I make an effort to choose my words very carefully, but I'm not going to blow smoke up your nose, right? Because there's no shortage of people that are going to um, take your money and, for example, tell you you don't need to count calories. And what did I tell you? Every competitor who has the physique that the average person wants, when I tell you, like a scientist, if I have a show that's 6 months or 9 months, I might be planning way out so I have wiggle room if life happens and I don't meet my goal, or I could even come in too lean and I need to fill out, right? And if I'm trying to put on more muscle, or if I already have muscle, right, because I'm not a beginner, all of those things you can figure it out. It's a science. Just like if you're choosing how much should I go heavy, should I go light, should I do 8 reps, 6 reps, 10 reps, 25 reps? There's a literal science. There's a science to training like a power lifter, like a bear. If I want to pick up a bus, 1 rep max, how heavy and fast I can do it. My sport is one time. If I want to go for hypertrophy or muscle growth, which most people want aesthetically, which I think it's an error to leave out function, right? Because without function, you're usually prone to injury, right? I can do endurance like a marathon runner. All the different athletes will look different and perform differently. So there is a science to weight selection and rep selection. This is one of the areas where many women are blindsided. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Then we throw into that equation hormones, lifestyles, um, how your job or your occupation, what are the things that you do as a triggered stress response slash reaction. I take all of those different things um, into consideration. And I told you I study junkies, right? And people probably think I'm just joking, which I'm not, but it's extremely humbling. Did you look at you looked at that piece, right? That I shared? I was like, should I share this with them? But sometimes I'm like, I can't be just me talking. I love to draw visuals and pictures because it helps to drive the point home. And I can usually see the light bulbs go off, right? Like the people that say, I don't eat much. Somebody 300 pounds, organs failing, is telling me they don't eat much. So what does that mean? There's a level of misinformation, or not stupidity, but ignorance. That means they're not educated. That's what's missing a lot of times. Education, and then education that takes into consideration. I'm very sensitive to mothers, and I'm very sensitive to people on a budget because, and also your lifestyle, right? Your occupation. If I don't take those things into consideration and then you just have a plan, that's a setup for failure, right? I used to live out of a suitcase as a flight attendant. I remember changing my food and being referred to a food co-op. I didn't know what organic was. But I wound up trying a lot of different types of produce just because the organic and conventional are right next to each other, right? So I got a chance to sample things. So working as a chef and as a personal trainer and as a in corporate America and traveling all these different places have given me a whole, and then also competing fitness have all given me a different perspective, right? Working in restaurants, I was like, how am I not going to be an unhealthy, overweight chef, right? We got enough of those where the flavor's fantastic, but my organs are failing. That is not what I want to be my legacy. So it's the blind spots. It's the blind spots. It's the blind spots. And those videos draw, those are a perfect example, right? These folks was serious that they had no idea, right? I call it split mind, cognitive dissonance, and a lack of education, right? I would also say culturally, we have a tendency to hold on to things that are very comforting and soothing. And you're going to have an anarchy on your hands with your own mind and ego, as well as with your family, if you just come in here gangbuster, throwing everything in the garbage and not considering that we do soothe ourselves with food, right? Culturally, symbolically, physically, you got to take all of those things. And people are usually, um, when I ask you to log your food, just like with your budget, even if I told you just, which I've said, just record everything the way you normally eat. Nobody's ever going to do that. The ego's not going to let you do that because then you start behaving yourself. So I would have to follow you around with a camera for 1 day, 2 days, and I can tell you exactly why you have the results that you have. So more so than like, oh, we're a liar, I would say, which has a lot of shame, and shame and fear are very powerful. Um, they're powerful triggers, right? And it's signaled a lot through social media and people marketing things to us, as well as past trauma. These are things that are not discussed with all the protein powders and the weight plans and the stuff that you download. We are enamored by personalities and their bodies, but a lot of things are left out, and that's going to leave you in frustration and leave you scrambling. So all that to say, even after so many years, I go through different exercises. I'm still learning all kinds of epiphanies to this day, right? But I'll tell you in a nutshell, it's your movement practice. I don't care if you call yourself vegan. I've seen one of the fittest people I've ever seen ever, raw vegan from birth. But I've also seen people fit pretty much in every diet you can think of. But it's not just the aesthetic, we're looking for longevity, right? Some people are dealing with cancer or autoimmune diseases, right? But so still focus on the aesthetics, right? So depending on if you're in a crisis situation, that's going to determine how you approach your food. And you may not always be there, but it's organic. But we want what we want, right? But it's for us to mature up and see where we are, right? That's why, even though I love whole, fresh living and unprocessed foods, I'm not going to say you have to be quote unquote raw vegan. That may be a period of time because it's very, very cleansing, right? But even there, we want to look at muscle, which is very, very important. It's the aesthetic is nice, but muscle is connected to your longevity, period. It's moving the levers of the bones. You cannot have muscle if you don't have progressive overload. And there are ways to do that with weight, using your body weight, and also using resistance, all different types of resistance. And your body can also adapt. It is going to adapt. So again, these are some of the blind spots that keep us frustrated. So yesterday, when I was going through the refrigerator and doing my chef thing, which I haven't done in a while, it was actually really relaxing. Putting masking tape with on my containers where I can't see inside the container, right? Rather than go out and buy more containers, I put labels, or I made this to say cucumber noodles on Sunday. I put the date and the time. Just that exercise, right? Looking at how little things you think is cumbersome, just looking at everything inside of my refrigerator made me kind of accountable. I have to eat those cucumber noodles. I have to, and I also know how to combine it with fruit and other things, right? But just that one exercise of going through everything that was in my refrigerator and actually doing food prep, right? Again, one of the things that we resist, having my scale out instead of just thinking, oh, I have to weigh my food. It was very educational in terms of like some of the wraps that we make, because more women are getting ready to come down in several months, right? So I know it takes time, especially with whole foods and raw vegan foods, to look at the recipes, right? But I know for a fact it makes a difference, especially when it comes to what I would call concentrated foods. Your dates, your wheat berries, buckwheat, which is not a wheat, but they're still concentrated foods. You remove that water, You remove that fiber. It's great mouthfeel, very crunchy, but though that's when it's very easy to overeat those things, right? And we assume because it's raw and vegan, you can just go for broke on a whole bag of raisins or a whole bag of pad thai or cashews. Ask me how I know. But I can automatically see it in my midsection. I can see it in my energy level. I can see it in my elimination. So I keep coming back to the same principles, right? If you're eating too much and you're not moving enough, you're going to gain weight. If we're very, very bloated, it is likely posture, a weak core, and improper food combination. In addition to, many of us don't realize that our gut biome, the whole environment inside of our gut, has been compromised from eating unprocessed foods, from taking lots of antibiotics, and actually also from stress, right? And not having um, an effective, consistent manner of stress release and sleep. We're not considering all that stress is hormones. There are the chemical reactions happening inside of your body as you just think you're going along and I got it, I got it, I got it, right? For example, you start seeing hair fall, right? Somebody passes in your family or even after having a baby. That's a form of stress, right? So all of these different things are happening. But our bottom line, we're never skimping on nutrition, right? And I go back to one of my elders told me years ago, many people she would not recommend a water fast for. People don't usually prep for the fast. They don't usually break it properly. They're doing it for spiritual, religious reasons, right? But then ignoring the vehicle of the body, right? And it can set many people up for a binge purge, right? I worked in a center, holistic health center with lots of colonics. Years ago, I used to do a lot of colonics. But you got to be very, very mindful. It becomes like a binge purge, if that makes sense, when the consistency of the movement practice is going to serve you a lot better. Eating real food. I even see a lot of fitness competitors with it, and I get the Splenda. You can lose weight, but when it comes to anything, compromise my immune system or my gut, I don't want it. And I was a junk food junkie. Also, I'm just very clear, and this is why it's good. I'm glad we do so much education. It doesn't matter if it's me or anyone else. You want to be able to sift through and see the principles of what's being shared with you and understand if you can sustain that, right? You got a place. You can fit an exercise in that. So even if you don't go to the gym, you can sustain that. If you have a gym, we have things that we can do in the gym, but this is sustainable. Real food is actually sustainable. People think even with prices going up, I can tell you real food is less expensive. It's the food preparation and understanding the combinations, right, of the food and also how to use the foods that are available to you in your area. But that satiation, that's what we're looking at this 2024. We're looking to move every single day, right? Distinction, it takes about 20 minutes for your body to really get heated into like a fat burning zone for what most of us, with the results we really want to see. It's not that 10 or 15 minutes, you can't do anything, right? Tracy is attesting that we can have a short workout and that stuff can be intense, even if it's 10 minutes. But for the average person that's deconditioned, they're likely going to get an injury or their form is going to be off. If your form is off, you're going to wind up going through the motions and not getting much out of a 10, 15-minute workout. Does that make sense? Right. So I want us to just keep organizing all of this stuff. The more you can organize it inside of your brain, you're going to have more access to change that I want to say almost the workout is uncomfortable. That's more pleasant because you can relax. This is lifestyle. This is therapy, not dieting anxiously, not beating yourself up. We're not doing the sadistic stuff. It doesn't work. And it's going to make you binge or want to soothe yourself more when you're beating up on yourself. Feeling good works, right? Self-esteem works. Me organizing my refrigerator, I feel fantastic from reorganizing my refrigerator and just looking at how leverage and activity that is, me seeing all the food that's there. I kind of even feel like it was food prep. It was just me going through like doing a decluttering, right, of what was in there and able to see. I have flax wraps that I just made. So that's like I portioned those so I can see the proper size. I made some little crisps. That are not that crispy, but some crisps. I'm able to portion that if I'm sharing it. So one of my sister, we don't eat a whole tray at one time. I understand I've implemented more broth, which I'm really recommend you ladies do your soups, at least one soup every week. I don't care if you have the soup for breakfast, right? That's 10, 20 times better. I've done every protein powder, every protein bar on the market. Some of them gave me acne. I was like, this tastes like a Snicker. It was a Snicker with protein powder in it. You'd be better off eating the soup for breakfast. So the real food, if you're seeing bloating, I recommend that you don't censor yourself. Just write down, however imperfect, in a little notebook what you're eating. That's how you're going to get to the root of leaning out, and also continually moving towards that sweet spot of finding out I'm satiated, I've got enough nutrition, my elimination is nice and regular, and I'm not hungry. That's the sweet, I'm satisfied. I've got treats that I look forward to, so I don't have to eat treats every day. I don't have to eat chocolate every day at 3 o'clock because I'm literally satiated. That's the sweet spot that we're looking for, right? So let's set this heart rate mind. Let's get it popping so we can get a good movement practice in today.
Training started.
All right, 78 beats per minute. I'm at. Please, your pictures. I'm looking forward to seeing your photos, front, side, back, and your measurements, right? We don't want to leave January. Every month you should have your fitness assessment, right? So I can see I'm at 46 beats per minute or 83. So I'm going to kick it up a little bit. Tomorrow we're going to go a little bit heavier because this is a hypertrophy season. And then Tracy, you're working on your just your hands, right? Which is for your grip strength with the not gripping too tight, but with a full grip. So not from here on when you're doing your hang after your movement practice, right? All right, let's start with standing kicks. Same foot, same hand. Here we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, good form, 15, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. So you can either take modified step press, right, or full jack, nice and light on the balls of your feet. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. First plank step. So take your appropriate level. Either you're on tabletop position, on all fours. Spread your fingertips. Make sure you're not sinking down. Press your hands into the floor. Tuck the hips under. If you're on your knees, step the foot to the outside of the hand. Otherwise, you're in a fully extended plank. Tuck your hips under, belly button to the spine. Right foot, step out, center, and left. 2, and 2. 3, and 3. 4, and 4. Get nice and warm. 5, and 5. 6, and 6. 7, and 7. 8, and 8. 9, and 9. 10, good, and 10. Coming up, standing kicks again on a diagonal. So that diagonal is giving you a stretch on your lower back and also on your IT band. Diagonal, kick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. jack press. So flip the arms up, elbows close to the side. Either take your modification or jack press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, plank step. Whew. Get nice and warm. Tabletop position. Spread the fingertips. So just take a minute, roll your wrists out for a moment. Roll it out, opposite direction. Take a couple of arm circles to the rear. All right, take your appropriate level. Make sure your chin is pulled in, your scapula is to the skin, pressing the hands into the floor. Here we go. 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3, 4, and 4, 5, and 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Whew. Number 3, standing kicks again, same foot, same hand. Whew. Belly button's drawn in, pelvis is tucked under, kick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if you're just starting, I would just say stay with the stick, or you can grab your water bottle. You can grab your lightest ball, jack press. So you can take your modification, pelvis tucked under, step, step press. Arms are fully extended at the top. Breathe nice and deep. Ready? Here we go. Uh-oh, got your ball? Here we go. So you can go step, step press. 1, 2, a jack press. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plank step. So, Tracy, you're going to grab your weighted vest. Woo! So we add a little touch of cayenne pepper, right? So with that weighted vest, that's a significant load, making you feel nice and light when you take it off. Make sure you tuck that pelvis under. Take your appropriate position. Spread the fingertips. So you should not be sinking down. Pressure hands into the floor. Tuck the pelvis under. Legs fully extended. Here we go. Step that right foot outside the right hand. Hold it here for a minute. Make sure that back leg, that heel is pressed to the back wall so you feel a deeper stretch in the left hip. Place that right foot in the center. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Push that right heel to the back wall. Squeeze your right glute so you feel a deep stretch in that right hip. Step center. This is 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, good, and 10. Oh my gosh. Whew. So you should feel like you're getting nice and warm. Whew. You can keep the vest on for a minute. So you can grab your stick. If you didn't have the stick, you would just be placing your hands behind your head, keeping the elbows open. So you're going to sit, stand, trunk rotation. So I have the stick Never on my spine. I have it behind my shoulders. Try to keep the wrist straight. Sit your hips back on that invisible chair. Sit, stand, and rotate. This is 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, good, and 10. Woo. All right, little active breaths. So we're gonna take our sit with a side hand clap, right? So open your feet a little bit wider than the hips, reach your hips back and down. Only one leg, is gonna lift at a time. So the standing leg is gonna get the work. Make sure you have a full extension. So your arms are straight at the top. You have a hand clap at the top and at the bottom. This leg is lifting out to the side, my right or your left. Ready? Then we go lift it up high. 1, sit it all the way down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab your ball or your water bottles or your body weight. Jack press. So again, you can take the modification, point your fingertips up to the ceiling. You can, heart rate's up. So you can step press, or jack press is gonna be a little more, just a teeny bit challenging with the vest on. Here we go. 1, 2, oh my gosh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, Dios mío. Plank step. Oh, that feels different with the vest on. Plank step. Take your appropriate level. Heart rate got up to 81% there. Tuck your hips under, press your hands into the floor. Scapulas to the skin. You're either on tabletop position or fully extended. Stepping out, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Oh gosh, 10 and 10 coming up. Oh, we gotta take the other leg. Woo. Take a sip of water or water. As my English client said, she said, why do you say water? I'm like, why do you say water? So take a sip. So, Regina, you already know about tamarind. You learned about tamarind, right? So there's the sweet and the sour. Make sure you pick up the sour, which we're going to be using for one of our drinks, right? Well, you don't need to add any kind of sweetener. It's also good for your kidneys. Let's take the other leg. So belly button's drawn in. Reach your hips back and down. Here we go. Lift it up. 1, sit it down. 2, 3, breathe deep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ah, Dios mío. Jack press. So either just your body weight or your appropriate resistance. Woo. Fingertips point up. Draw your core muscles in. Here we go. You can take the modification. 1, 2, or jack it out. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh gosh. Oh, Dios mío. Lift the knees to the chest. Let's take a plank step. Woo. All functional movement, right? Dynamic flexibility, cardio, strength, one nice little tootsie roll. So spread the fingertips. Make sure the head is, your chin is drawn in so your head is not bobbing up and down. Tuck the pelvis under. Draw that belly button in. Take your appropriate level. Step it out. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. 6 and 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. We're gonna hold 10. Hold 10. Push that back heel towards the back wall. Squeeze your glute on the extended back leg so you feel that stretch in your hip. Step center, other side. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Push that right heel to the back wall. Squeeze your right glute so you feel that stretch in the hip. Step center. Oh my gosh. And come up. You're going to grab your ball. Wipe your face for a moment. Get your little hairdo together. All right. So the first set of our sit with trunk rotation, right, we did with the stick. So you could either stay with the stick if that was appropriate or challenging, or we're going to add a little bit of resistance. So the only difference is your glutes reach back to touch that invisible chair. Sit it down, stand and rotate, press it up. Stand, elbow joint goes straight at the top. Exhale and press it up. On the way down, see if you can be more mindful of your inhale, because it's real easy to like do a very shallow inhale to take in air. The exhale is like kind of easier, right? Because you want relief. You also want to draw more oxygen in. All right, belly button pulled in. Wrap your mind around it. Sit it down parallel to the floor. Stand, press, and rotate. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. Ooh. 5 and 5. 6 and 6. 7 7. 8 8. 9. Oh my gosh. 10. Oh gosh, and 10. Woo. Oh gosh. Next movement pattern. Grab a band. So working on your posture, on your scapula, the rear part of your delt, but this is not for hypertrophy or muscle growth in the back. This is more about your stabilizer muscles, right? So most of us have almost like unstable shoulders, right? Because we don't walk backwards, so we're not working those muscles. So today you have a palm up grip, whew, or a supine grip. You're going to alternate step back. As you come up, you're going to open wide. So think of bringing your shoulder blades together. I have no bend in my elbow. Open it wide across the chest. Strive to keep your belly button engaged. Only one leg is going to step back at a time. If it's not too challenging, then we'll just tweak it a little bit with a little bit of a knee up. All right, so leave enough space between the two legs. Step back. See if you can get that knee down to the floor. If you can't, come up, open. Elbows stay, straight. And 2 and 3, and 4, 5. Squeeze your glute to the top of the movement. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So you can bring your hands a teeny bit closer. Trace the other side. Whew. Roll the shoulders back. Set it up. Belly button's drawn in. Here we go. Step back as you come up open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shoulders starting to get toasty. 8. Woo. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. Oh gosh. 15. Woo! You feel your arms are nice and toasty? Commercial break. Active rest. So hands right here, palms are facing the floor. So not shoulders up, but the arms are up. So touch your knees, strive to touch your knees to the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you probably feel your shoulders a little bit. Shake your shoulders out. Same hands. So we're taking the knee out to the side, right? Also want to do a lot of hip opening. So try to get your knee without slamming your elbow. Try to get your knee up to your elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Shake it out. So let's progress our plank step a little bit. You can stay at the same place. Otherwise, we're going to progress a little bit. So hold on, let me wipe my face. We're in tabletop position, right? So from tabletop position, you're going to bring the right knee to the chest, or you may be mirroring with the left knee, but I have my right knee first. Bring it here, and then take that same knee, bring it to the outside of your elbow. Even if it doesn't touch, that's what you're striving to get it to. Right up the center, and then out to the elbow. That's when you're alternating sides. So take your appropriate level, press your hands into the floor. Here we go. So this is 1 and 1, other side. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 10. Oh my gosh, coming up. Grab that ball for a jack press, Laura. Could be body weight, but not for you ladies. All right, take your appropriate level. Wrap your mind around it, so strive to synchronize your breath with the movement. You can take a jack press, step press, or jack it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh gosh, and 1. Whew. Should be kind of warm by now. 23 minutes into the warm-up. So let's open up the hips. A little bit more, take a sip of water if you need to. So external hip rotation. So long lever today. So not bent, long. Belly buttons in. Here we go. So externally rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, Tracy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Internal rotation, opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Just take a moment. Try to get those knees up to the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Shake the arms out. Whew. Side kick. So ideally, the top part of your foot will be making contact with your target. Remember, your standing leg is not stuck. You can pivot on that standing leg. Okay, wipe the sweat off. Use your breath. Ground you down into your body. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Commercial break. Want to take a little bit of Jenga. Belly button drawn in. We're at the line. Step back, Jenga. Good, nice. So make sure you got enough space between your 2 legs. Good, Jenga. 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 Feels different with the vest on. Jenga. 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 Cocarina. Get that hand down to the floor so you can practice falling. Good. Jenga. 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 Cocarina. Good. Jenga. 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 Guard your face. Jenga. Jenga. Bensao. 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 Open the arms a little. Bensao. Good. Jenga. 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 Cocarina. Nice. Good. Cocarina. Jenga. 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 Bensao. Drop down. Good. Bensao. Bensao. Should see the bottom of your foot. Bensao. Bensao. Good. Jenga. 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 So from Jenga position, step forward. Step forward. Rotate. Both hands are going to touch the floor, right? Then come right back into Jenga. Yes. Step forward. You can switch hands. Good. You're going to turn. Both hands go flat on the floor. Come back into Jenga. Good. Step forward. Both hands come down, touch the floor. Come back to Jenga. Good. So let's prep for Mealuji, Compasa, or your compass kick, right? Good. Jenga. 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 Step forward. Switch hands. Pivot. Both hands go down, flat on the floor. Come back into Jenga. Good. Step forward. You switch hands. Yes. Good. Turn. Both hands go flat. And Jenga. Step forward. Turn. Hands go flat. Good. And come back. So, little tweak. This time when you go, try to look through your legs, right? Because you'll be keeping eyes on your target. So you're going to step forward. Switch hands. Hands go down. Look through your legs. Look at your target. Good. Come back. Nice. Good. Step forward. Yes. Go down. Both hands down. Look through your legs. Good. And come back. Good. External hip rotation, opposite leg. Nice. Nice. So kick over the computer. Kick over that tall person's head. Here we go. External hip rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Internal rotation. 1, sweating down my arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Ooh, sweating up in here. No gym, no problem. Side kick. Working your obliques and glute medius. Use your breath to ground you into your body. So you stay present. Listen to your inhale and your exhale. Side kicks. Top part of your foot will be making contact with your target. So ideally, don't just fling the foot. You're going to hold it up with control and then pull it back, not just through the foot. Let's do the leg. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, we officially won. Dios mío. You can take off the vest. Woo. Take some water, wipe your face, and then we can get into the strength training. Nice job, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Create a great day.